Welcome back to Green is Good, and we're so excited to have with us today Jaime Nack. She's my friend. She's back for the second time. Welcome to Green is Good, Jaime.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, Jaime, well, you're amazing because you're doing so many things in sustainability and green. And before we get talking about your great company, Three Squares Inc., and before we get talking about the great organization you co-founded, Women in Green, I want you to share the great story behind Jaime Nack and your journey leading up to these two great organizations.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I really have a lot to be thankful for. About 8 years ago, I decided to go off on my own. I was working in the environmental consulting arena for a couple of years, worked my way up to the VP position at an environmental consulting firm, and decided it was time to really step out on my own. And it's been a great, exciting, wild entrepreneurial ride ever since. I was tapped to serve as Director of Sustainability for the 2008 Democratic National Convention out in Denver, and that really helped set me and the firm, Three Squares Inc., out on the national stage and really queue us up for international work. So we've done a lot of great work all over across the globe. I was in India a couple weeks ago, Salt Lake City last week, so New York this week, and Detroit tomorrow. So we are very busy. But we do great work. We help companies, cities, government agencies on their sustainability journey. And it could be anything from helping them figure out the best strategy to move forward and get funding to help their efforts move forward, to actually implementation of those efforts on the ground, in their facilities, in their buildings. And then we also heavily focus on employee education and getting the employee behaviors lined up and tuned in with the sustainability strategy as well.
That's incredible. So I want to talk about this. So you are the president and founder of Three Squares Inc. And for our listeners who want to learn more about that, they could go to Three Squares, and you just got to spell it out, THREE, threesquaresinc.com. Now, I'm on your website, so explain to our listeners, before we get talking about other issues, what threesquaresinc.com is and what you do there.
Sure, yeah. So we are a consulting firm. We are best well known for our sustainability strategy in the events world. So we not only produce events from start to finish with a sustainability lens, but we also get brought in just to manage the sustainability for large-scale events. So we were the first firm in the nation to demonstrate compliance to the new international green event standard called ISO 2012-1. And so we've been doing a lot of work in the ISO 2012-1 space, helping large events, helping big corporations create policies for, a lot of times these corporations have events throughout the year, sometimes more than once a month, so that all of their events are aligned and that they're measuring their progress and reducing their environmental footprint across their events. And then we also work with companies about overall sustainability strategies. So similar to working as a chief sustainability officer, but externally, we work with their team in-house to set strategies and standards for their operations, and then rolling out their standards across their corporate footprint.
Now, I know your office is in beautiful Santa Monica, California. How many years ago did you start Three Squares Inc.?
Back in 2008, believe it or not.
Right. So you've been doing this stuff for a long time. Talk a little bit about the demand for environmental consulting and how it's increased over the last 10 years. What are you seeing? Because you're one of the real leaders in this whole field.
Yeah, I've seen, it's actually been really a pleasure to watch the industry grow. I mean, 10 plus years ago, I would say to find companies that had an established chief sustainability officer role they were more the unique ones or the outliers. And now I would say business as usual really incorporates a focus on sustainability or CSR, corporate social responsibility. And if you're a major company today and you don't have a web page or a section on your webpage about your sustainability efforts, I would say you're more the one that's looking out of place. You're more the outlier. I serve on a number of committees. One is the World Resources Institute, New Innovators Council, and that group is focused on solutions for big corporates in the sustainability arena. And it's great to see when we go to their corporate meetings, member meetings, I mean, you see chief sustainability officers there from every major brand or company that you could think of.
Wow. So, with that explosion now, with CSOs and sustainability becoming part of corporate DNA and culture, what's your visibility on the next 5 to 10 years ahead? What's going to happen next? What's the next frontier?
Yeah, I mean, I think, the last 10 years or 20 years have really been focused on efficiency, and programs like Six Sigma and lean manufacturing have been used to really dial into efficiency of manufacturing processes and just overall business processes. And I think the next 10 to 20 years, we'll be seeing a bit of a switch, and major companies will be dialing in those systems with the focus on efficiency where it meets up with environmental efficiency and sustainability. And that's where their ratings or their rankings on these indices like the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, and how they're rated overall with ESG or environmental, social, and governance ratings. There's been a lot of focus on that, which those scores weren't as important as they have become over the last 10 years. So I also think technology and being able to use technology to help those companies dial in the nexus of efficiency and environmental sustainability will be on the rise. And so that's where we've moved into that arena and looked at how can we use technology to really enhance what we're doing on the environmental consulting side, and launched the second company, which is One Drop Interactive.
Talk a little bit about, I'm on your website now, which again, for our listeners out there that just joined, we've got Jaime Nack. She's the president and founder of Three Squares Inc. And you can learn more about Jaime at threesquaresinc.com. And it's three, spell out the word three, threesquaresinc.com. She's also the co-founder of Women in Green Forum. We'll talk about that a little later. Talk a little bit about One Drop Interactive. I'm on your website now. You've shared it with me before we ever did this show. It's a fascinating piece of technology. Share with our listeners why you invented it and why you created it and what it actually does. Sure.
Yeah, we were really excited about One Drop because what we learned from working with chief sustainability officers and then serving as an external chief sustainability officer for a lot of organizations was that there's a particular pain point in the industry around getting your employee behaviors to align up with your sustainability initiatives and getting that employee education really out there and penetrating all, especially if you have a company that spreads across a country or across multiple countries, getting everyone on the same page has been really a challenge for these CSOs. And so we decided to use technology to develop this platform that educates and engages employees so that they're able to learn more about recycling and water conservation and energy savings and sustainable purchasing. And they can now feel empowered by that knowledge. And at the same time, we're actually able to collect real-time data from these employees about what their behaviors look like in the workplace. And then those data points roll up to really valuable reports on the back end. So from the client perspective or client admin perspective, they're able to find reports after the employees take these educational courses and see areas for cost savings and environmental savings. So it's a win-win across the board. You get educated and engaged employees, and then you're able to see from a company perspective, what can we do, how can we fine-tune our systems to save both money and tons of CO2.
That's so interesting. And so, why were you compelled to create this tech platform? What was driving you towards that in terms of the technology and sustainability and the convergence of both? And why did you want to, put them together?
I mean, I look at it as I feel that technology has a really magical ability to scale way beyond our old analog way of doing business. So, we were at that 7-year mark and we realized we were having a great impact with our consulting work, our projects, and our clients were phenomenal. And we could see the impact in our day-to-day or project-by-project approach, but we knew that we could do more. And we wanted to make sure that, we've been able to amass a great amount of expertise and knowledge in the space, and we wanted to share it with as many people as possible. And so we looked at technology as a way to allow us to reach hundreds of thousands of people with a click of a button versus our project-by-project approach. And so that's where we really launched into this new field, and it's been a really exciting journey ever since.
I know this is sort of a silly question, but I mean, from your own, because you're the creator and you're the visionary here, who were you creating this for? What types of companies or governmental entities need a tool like OneDrop?
Yeah, so all companies of all shapes and sizes. And what's great is we decided early on, we created a founder circle of major companies, Fortune 100 companies, and had their chief sustainability officers as part of this group for 6 months. And so we were able to really test out the model, get feedback from them. And these were companies that range from 2 million employees all the way down to 500 employees. And they all had very, very similar needs. They just needed a product or a tool that would be able to scale from the 500 employees to the 2 million employees. And so that was something that was really interesting for us. I mean, their needs are very similar, but we need to make sure that we have a scalable platform. And so definitely technology was the conduit to let us do that.
When did you actually launch OneDrop? When was it after you? I know you did a lot of beta testing, and you were really careful on how you put it out there. When did you officially launch it? And are you happy with the traction you've gotten so far?
Yeah, we launched in 2014, and our initial launch was for our Founders Circle pilots only, so that was part of the agreement with them. But then since then, gotten a lot of interest from all different types. I mean, we have talent agencies, we have large foundations, we have city governments, we have automotive companies. I mean, we've got interest coming from many different avenues. We also have a lot of interest coming from overseas. So most recently, we were referred to a company out in Ireland, and they're a large, $30 billion company, and their chief sustainability officers at their headquarters in Ireland, and they were looking for a tool or a platform to allow them to educate and reach their employee base, and they found us.
That's so exciting. So are you happy with how the technology's been performing, and is it performing against your vision the way you wanted it to?
Yeah, definitely. I would say, the thing that always surprises me is we learn from every customer or client engagement, and we're able to enhance the platform. And that, for me, that's really exciting because it's constantly evolving into something better. So, for example, one of our customers has a big wellness focus. And so they wanted to be able to incorporate a dashboard from their Fitbit challenge into our dashboard. And so we're able to build these custom widgets so that we can pull in the wellness activities, the leadership activities into their sustainability platform in OneDrop Interactive. And so being able to make it even go beyond just the core sustainability focus and tie it into wellness has been something that we didn't plan for it, but we love the fact that we're able to expand and incorporate that.
That is just amazing. Now, I know you and I have had this discussion offline before. Talk about the potential of your software, OneDrop, and integration outside of just corporate, but for cities and residents that want to learn about their recycling rates and their engagement and overall sustainability engagement overall. Could that work as well?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked to several cities, City of Los Angeles, City of Santa Monica, and others about actually rolling out the OneDrop platform for their city employees. And then I know we've talked a bit about, how can we bring this to the residents? Because we know that there are people who don't work for large companies that have rolled out OneDrop already, and so they might want to be able to access this education and learn more. So apps like Recycle Nation would be a great way to link the residents who are already looking for solutions and ways to recycle more and learn about energy and allow them to dip into this education piece as well.
So there is going to be a broader application. You feel that it's going to be both good for beyond corporations, government, and also for apps like ours that want to then bring it right into the homes of America.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
That is
We've also gotten a lot of questions about the K through 12 market, and that wasn't our focus, just like wellness wasn't our focus initially. But I think that as we grow, we have this amazing platform, and we have really great, really clean educational content that's exciting and engaging that I don't see why we won't be able to expand into these other areas as well.
Jamie, it's, you're a very humble person, and, it's not enough that you're one of the leading woman entrepreneurs in sustainability with regards to 3 Squares and then One Drop and all the things you're doing there. But honest to gosh, Sheryl Sandberg has nothing on you, because you were really, leading the lean in generation before that book ever came out. Now, you also created, while you were running 3 Squares, you were the co-founder of Women in Green and the Women in Green Forum. Can you share? We're down to a couple minutes, but I don't want to end the show without you sharing about Women in Green, the next conference coming up on August 25th, and how you created it, why you created it, and what it's up to this year.
Sure, yeah. Well, I'm really, really proud of the Women in Green Forum. We launched it 6 years ago, so we're heading into our 6th annual conference. This year we will be taking it to a new, unique venue at Tree People, which is up in the hills, in the dead center of Los Angeles, right off of Mulholland. Beautiful hilltop location. And the conference series was really developed to highlight women's impact on the environmental industry and to encourage more women into the field. And that second part is really something that is close to my heart. We developed the forum with the idea of having a student scholarship program. So every year we have a core group of students who attend the conference for free. The conference has highlighted environmental professionals from, again, almost every major company you can think of: Microsoft, Yahoo, Intel, Honda, Ford, BMW, I mean, you name it. And in addition to cabinet members like EPA administrators, to local, regional, and state city government officials. And really the focus was, how can we get more women at the podium talking about what they're doing on the environmental side and showcase them as role models, and allow more young women and women who want to switch careers the opportunity to see that there are these great opportunities in the environmental space.
Unbelievable. I mean, and so this is your 6th year coming up, August 25th, Woman in Green. And to learn more about it, go to womaningreenforum.com. You could sign up on their website, womaningreenforum.com. Jamie, last thoughts here. For people out there that want to be the next Jaime Nack, what blogs or books do you find inspirational for the next generation of millennials and wannabe leaders who are listening to the show today in the United States and around the world that want to follow your footsteps?
Yeah, I mean, I'm big on social media, so I would say check out those who I follow on Twitter. My Twitter is at Jaime Nack, JaimeNack. If you're also looking at careers in the space, there's a great recruiter who posts a lot of jobs in sustainability. She's at Sustainable Job on Twitter. And then there are a lot of great, again, on social media and Twitter and blogs online like in Habitat and Dwell and others that post articles constantly. And now with Twitter, you're able to see a very quick snapshot quickly and figure out if you want to click to learn more. That's awesome. Any favorite books? I have a huge stack of books that I'm in the process of getting through, but there are interesting ones on the topics that I've mentioned today. There's one called Six Sigma for Sustainability, which is a little bit of a tie-in between the efficiency piece for businesses and sustainability. So that's a real great one. I know you mentioned Sheryl Sandberg's Lean In earlier. Yeah. There's also a great book just in terms of for business negotiations called The Power of a Positive No, which is one of my favorite negotiation books. So I want to plug that one as well. Oh, that's awesome. Good for you. Well, Jamie, we're so thrilled to have you back, and you're always welcome on Green is Good to talk about all the great things you're doing. For our listeners out there that want to learn more about Jamie and also her great products and her great company, please go to www.3squaresinc.com. You can learn about One Drop Interactive there and also learn more about all the great consulting work she's doing there. And for those of you who want to sign up or come to the Woman in Green Forum, you go to www.womaningreenforum.com, womaningreenforum.com. Thank you, Jaime Nack, for being a sustainability superstar. You are truly living proof that green is good.